So yes, it is dangerous. You ready?
Yeah.
We're Jason and Aubrey. We bought the cheapest van we could find to do the Pan American Highway. We're not worried about how we look, it's the journey that matters. Traveling on a budget, doing what we can to save money to keep the adventure alive. We're not overlanders, we don't plan ahead, and we try to fix everything ourselves. Alright, we're still here in the US. We're trying to take care of the final things that we need to do before we cross over the US-Mexico border.
We keep getting a lot of questions from friends and family and even strangers. So today we thought we'd do a little Q&A and answer some of those burning questions. One of the questions we keep getting asked a lot is, what exactly is the Pan American Highway?
The Pan American Highway is an epic road that is 19,000 miles. It's in the Guinness Book of World Records for being the world's longest road. It starts in Prudhoe Bay, Alaska, goes through North America, Central America, and South America, and ends in Ushuaia, Argentina. So the road goes the whole way except for 61 miles through the Darien Gap. And for the Darien Gap, you have to figure out a way around it. Most people end up shipping their vehicle around it, not through it.
We are not going through it. We are either going to be flying or sailing on a boat around it. That makes people nervous. We're not going through it.
Yeah, the only people that go through the Darien Gap are the migrants right now. Otherwise...
Or if you're like a super risk taker.
I guess, but...
People do.
It's pretty rare. But the traffic that the Darien Gap is seeing right now is from the migrants migrating.
Here's a bee. The idea for the Pan American Highway started in the United States, and they wanted to figure out a way to connect North America with Central America to South America. So originally it was going to be a railway, but they waited too long to even start that automobiles started being the popular choice of transportation, and so they made it a road.
Every country was responsible for doing their own section of the Pan American Highway. And there's one section that goes through the US that is not necessarily designated as the Pan American Highway. It just branches out and you can go whichever way you want. It doesn't really matter. But in the other countries, it is marked and labeled as the Pan American Highway.
So it should be pretty easy to get all the way to the bottom just following the run road, and it is the safest route if you go that way to stay on the highways. So that's probably the plan, but we'll see.
There's going to be some side trips that are happening as well. There's going to be a lot of things that we're going to want to see. We're not going to be able to see it all, but we're going to do our best. And a lot of it is determined by that thing. So keep your fingers crossed.
You gotta pray for that thing back there.
Keep your fingers crossed on that.
We don't have a name for it yet, so if anyone has a name, we need a name for our little van.
Another question we get a lot is, what countries are you gonna go through? And that's a great question. We actually had to do a little bit of studying.
We did. We're actually surprised there's that many countries going down south. There's 23 total, but our goal is 19.
The countries are that we're gonna go through, I'm gonna actually need a cheat sheet for. And luckily I have one. It starts with Canada, then the US, Mexico, Belize, Guatemala, El Salvador, Honduras, Nicaragua, Costa Rica, and Panama.
Then we get to the Darien Gap. After the Darien Gap, we will then be in South America. In South America, we will be going through Colombia, Ecuador, Peru, Bolivia, Brazil, Paraguay, Uruguay, Chile, Argentina, and as a bonus, we might be seeing Antarctica. since it's down there.
So we're really gonna try to make that happen. It's pretty exciting.
The other countries we did not list that we're not going to.
Oh yeah, so there's 4 countries that are still kind of a question mark behind them.
They're having some turmoil right now.
Yeah, everyone always hears about Venezuela, obviously. We're gonna just keep that on the maybe list. So it's Venezuela, Guyana, Suriname, and French Guyana. Those are all on the northern side of South America. And we're just gonna wait and kind of feel it out once we get in the area, and we'll make that decision then.
It's gonna be like that for every country.
Yeah.
You could get like, you know, close to the border and people say, no, don't go there for this A, B, and C reason. So it's all gonna be up in the air. It's gonna be, we don't really know. We can't really plan this.
Yeah, that's true. Things are always changing in other parts of the world. And I hope that we get to do all 19 countries or maybe even 23, but the chances is it might arise that something happens in one of the countries and we have to skip it, or you know, we have to
get around it.
Stop and wait for things to kind of settle and, you know, get back to normal, so to speak. So we're just kind of going with the flow. That's all we can do, really. You can plan it perfectly, but you know, a lot of things are just out of your hands.
Another question we get asked a lot is it going to be hot in all the countries that we're traveling to?
Yeah, that's
the thought that I had, honestly, right, until I started researching that it was just going to be just like 90s all the way to Argentina, but that's not true.
And we have done the last 3 years of traveling, mostly just chasing nice weather, trying to stay in that nice temperate climate. But going down through this whole trip, it's gonna be a mix of everything. It's gonna be hot, it's gonna be cold, there's gonna be rain. We're gonna go through jungles, rainforests, deserts.
There's volcanoes, there's salt flats.
There's glaciers. You know, it's gonna be everything. So we're trying to time it just right so that we hit the seasons just right. But
it's impossible.
Yeah, you're really going to be lucky if you get through the whole thing and not encounter some snow or, you know, a lot of rain. So we're kind of keeping an open mind. We did pack warm clothes, and we packed a lot of, you know, shorts and t-shirts and flip-flops too, because I would say the majority is going to be very hot and humid. So yeah. We're going to go through a lot of different climates and a lot of different elevations as well.
That's what I was going to say. We're going to hit some elevations that are over 15,000 feet, and that's going to be really interesting because we don't know how our bodies are going to react. A lot of people get sick when they go to high elevations. I've never climbed like a 14er or anything, so I have no idea how it's going to be, how we're going to feel. So we might have to up our workout game.
Yeah, or just maybe start a workout game.
Start a workout.
Yeah, altitude sickness is a very serious thing. It's very similar to seasickness. You know, once you get it, the only way to get rid of it is to go back down in elevation. So they say that you should go up about maybe 2,000, maybe I'd say 1,000 to 3,000 feet per day, so that it gives your body a chance to acclimate to the gain in elevation. And once you get it, you know, you're pretty much, you have to make the decision of, do we stay here and try to get through it, or just go back down? And a lot of people, they have to just turn around and head back down the mountain because it's miserable.
We have some exciting things ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. Sure. I think the unknown is the most exciting.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
So.
All right. I think it's time for a commercial break. And there's some things I wanted to show you that Jay made by Jay.
All right.
And it's in the van, so let's go see.
Okay.
Check out what Jay made. Jay made this table right here. Look look at this. Cabinet, I should say, for all of our food storage. Look at that. That's awesome. Such a great job.
Thanks. Just trying to add some storage for all of our stuff.
One more thing. Wait, we got more. We got more.
Yeah. So this is our little table that we haven't used yet. It goes on a leg right here. But we plan on using it, so we didn't want to get rid of it. It was always in the way. We were always moving it. It was really annoying, kind of a pain. And so I figured out that I could put it up against this shelf unit that I built, but I needed a way to secure it. So I made this little bracket that hooks it in right here. And then this spins right there so that you can just take it out and remove it. And then that keeps it nice and secure for traveling, and it's easy to access and easy to put up. Wham, bam, done. All right, and the other most frequently asked question is it dangerous? Are you scared?
Yeah, we get that a lot. We're not dumb. We know that taking this trip, there's a risk. And I think anything in life, there's a risk. And the biggest risk you can take is not taking any at all, especially something that you're passionate about. I'm not afraid to talk about death at all. And I feel that death is not living your life to the fullest. And if you can say that there's no place you'd rather be and no one else you'd rather be with, then I think you're doing okay and you're doing the best that you can. And that's exactly where I feel like I'm at right now. Because in my past, I've lived and died many times already. And the years that I spent stagnant are years that I've wasted. And so I feel like this is a goal that I have, to make it to the end and to keep traveling, and in movement helps you grow. That's what I want to do with my life. That's exactly what I want to do, is exactly what I'm doing right now. And I'm in that sense, I'm not afraid. I do know there's risk, but I'm not afraid to go do this, and I'm excited. And it was actually my idea to do the Pan American Highway. And this amazing guy said, hell yeah, I want to do it too.
So yes, it is dangerous, but everything's dangerous in life. So I mean, just kind of, agree with her, is I would rather do dangerous things and potentially die than not do dangerous things and still have the same risk of dying. Doesn't matter. Everything, get in a car. How dangerous is that? Probably the most dangerous thing that you do in your whole life, yet we do it every day. So I'd rather die driving in an adventure than driving to work and commute traffic. So yeah, it's dangerous, but so's everything else. And I'm really not scared. I don't live my life with fear. Yeah, scary things happen, but you just deal with them when they come up. But I don't try to premeditate all the scary things that could happen just because it's not healthy. I don't want to spend my time living like that. And so I just want to live life, and problems are going to arise, you solve them. Conflicts happen, you overcome them. And that's just the more healthy way for me to live personally. So I'm not scared until something scary happens, and then I'll be scared and deal with it and hope for the best, and I guess move on after that. I don't know. But I think that a lot of people are scared thinking about it. And that's what keeps them from doing that thing, is you overthink it. And if you just jump right into it and do it, then you don't have time to be scared, and you'll do a lot more. And then once you come out on the other end, you're like, oh, well, that wasn't scary at all. So don't overthink it.
Yeah. And I've always felt that there is no freedom in safety. If you live your whole life with a safety net, you never get to touch freedom. So a lot of this, us traveling, we're doing it on a risk. If you don't have a lot of money and you're going to travel and do whatever you're doing with it, and where you put your money is where you put your life. Where you spend your money is where you spend your life. That's what I meant to say.
Another thing,
I could go on about this.
Yeah, we could go on a long time about this, but another big part of it for me is it makes me grateful, because we're gonna see a lot of things and a lot of other people's cultures and lifestyles that aren't as great as the ones that we've been blessed with. And so it kind of puts things into perspective for you, and it makes you grateful, and it should make you humble as well. I think those are all important things that people should carry close to them in life, is gratitude, being humble, and not taking for granted the things that we have, because all too often we do. You get caught up in your lifestyle and you just start to take things for granted that people in other parts of the world will kill for. They would love to have the things, that we could care less about.
You want pizza? You want pizza? Who wants pizza? Who wants pizza? What about you? You want pizza? You want pizza? Yeah? What about
in this first world? So that's the best part for me, is to go down there and just, be grateful for the life we have, for the life we've lived, and keep enjoying it.
Yeah. You got to chase your dreams. If there's something you want, you definitely got to go for it, no matter what it takes, at all costs. And I just think it's far better to be barely squeaking by doing something that you love than have it all together living a life you hate.
That's a good note to end on, right there.
We'll end on that.
Yep. Man, let's just put that down as a famous quote. Is that it?
Yeah.
I think we covered all the questions.
That was a big one. That's the one we always get. Next time you see us, we'll be probably crossing the border.
Singing La Bamba.
La Bamba?
I don't know. And so if you have a question that we didn't cover or answer, feel free to ask.
Yeah.
We'd love to answer.
Any questions about the trip?
Yeah.
Are you scared?
No, I'm not scared. No, I'm not scared. There's people that drive it, ride motorcycles, bicycle, and walk it. In fact, the quickest that someone's driven that is 24 days. It's unbelievable to me. The fastest that someone has ridden it on a motorcycle is how long?
34 days on a motorcycle.
And then the fastest that someone's done it on a bicycle is how long? You don't remember?
No.
The fastest that someone's done it on a bicycle is 84 days. These are all, it's mind-blowing. 19,000 miles on a bike?
Yeah.
In 84 days? You gotta be kidding me. And then the real one that's crazy is that someone has walked it. And
no, many people have walked
okay.
it.
The fastest that someone has walked it is in 530 days.
Yeah, this whole trip from Alaska to Argentina walked.
So if it were that dangerous, do you think that people would be walking it?
Probably.
No, they wouldn't. If it was that dangerous, they wouldn't be doing it.
There's
like
always
that.
someone out there that's willing to do anything. Nothing's more scary than being in front of the camera. So if you want to do something to test yourself,
Yeah.
try doing YouTube.
Yeah. Yeah, the Pan American Highway is going to be easy. It's going to be filming ourselves doing it. That's going to be the scary part.
Yeah. There's so much I always want to say, and then when I get in front of this camera, I'm like,
it's all your fault.
Nothing to
little
say.
circle thing right there. You always mess us up.